In this lesson, we're going to look at entering commands and working in Rhino. In Rhino, there are three main ways to enter a command. The first of these is through the menu bar up at the top. And here you can find all the commands that are available in Rhino. There's curve, surface, solid, mesh, and so on. The other way to do this is through the toolbars on the left and above the viewports. And all of the commands are also available here. The third way is through the command line. And in this, you can just type things. In this case, let's say I wanted to apply the box command. I can just start typing the word box. And you can see I typed the letter B, and because of Rhino's autocomplete function, it immediately throws up all the commands that begin with the letter B. If I then type the second letter O, it starts to narrow it down. Now box is selected. You see it with that blue square around the letter X. So if I just hit enter, it will apply the box command right now. Let's go ahead and build some shapes. The first we're going to build is through the menu command. We're going to go up to the menu command, select solid, box, and then corner to corner height. Once I've got that selected, you can see the command line is asking for some information. So it's asking for the first corner of the base. I'm going to build this starting in the top viewport, so I'm going to click once to apply the lower left corner of the box. And then I can just drag the mouse. I could enter numbers to create a precision box, but in this case, we're just going to drag and build a box visually. So I'll just drag this rectangle, click once, and you can see the command line has changed and it's asking for the height. I now can move down to the front, the right, or even the perspective viewport and drag up or down and create a box that looks to be about the right height. Again, I can type numbers if I want this box to be an accurate size. So that's the first way to apply a command, using the menu bar. The second way is through the toolbar. And for this particular command, the box command is this icon right here on the left toolbar. And I can just click once, and you can see it's asking for the first corner of the base again. I'll create this once more in the top viewport, so I can just click, and then again I can drag the box, and this time I'll make it a thinner rectangle. I'll just click there, and I'll go over to the front viewports, and click there. Now you can see things are getting a little crowded in my viewports here. And there's a few different ways I can go about changing the view around. The first is with the right mouse button. So in the three orthographic views, so that's top, front, or right viewports, if I hold down the right mouse button and drag, you can see I'm panning the view. Again, that's just holding down the right mouse button. If I need to zoom in or out, if I hold down Control and the right mouse button, and then move the mouse up and down, I'm also zooming in and out. I can use the scroll wheel if you happen to have a scroll wheel on your mouse to zoom in or out. And one thing to keep in mind in Rhino is wherever the cursor is where you'll zoom in. So if I put the cursor right here on this box and start zooming in, you can see that's where I zoom into. If I put the cursor here on this box and press zoom, you can see that's where I'm zooming into. So again, right mouse click in the orthographic windows gives you pan. Control right mouse click and drag the mouse up and down gives you zoom in or zoom out in the orthographic viewports. Perspective viewport is a little bit different. If I right mouse click and move the mouse around in here, you can see I kind of rotate around the object or helicopter around the object. Zooming in and out works the same in the perspective viewports. In the right mouse click plus control gives you a zoom in and out. Also, the scroll wheel if you happen to have a scroll wheel. If I want to pan in the perspective viewport, I hold down Shift and right mouse click. And that lets me pan around. So again, perspective viewport is a little bit different. If I right mouse click and drag, then I'm rotating around the object, kind of flying around it. If I control right mouse click, that's zooming, or again, scroll wheel, still zooming. And if I shift right mouse click, then that's panning around in the viewport. There's also, at the top of the toolbar, this button here, which is Zoom Extents. And you can see with the contextual menu that it's Zoom Extents, or if I right mouse click on it, it's Zoom Extents all viewports. So if I zoom in on this perspective viewport here, and then click this button, Zoom Extents, you can see the viewport zooms out and shows me all the visible data that's in my scene or my model. If I need to zoom out all the windows at once, then I can right mouse click on this button and it will zoom all 4 windows to show me all of the data that is visible. So I right mouse click here, and you can see all 4 viewports have changed. So that's a very quick way to update all the windows and show you everything going on in your model. So let's go ahead and finish adding the boxes here. So remember, a third way to apply a command is to type. So I'll just start typing the word box, and you can see box is highlighted. I'll just click enter. It's asking me for the first corner, and I'll click here. Now say I wanted to draw a box that's outside my top viewport. While I'm in the middle of this command, I can actually hold down the right mouse button, and I can be panning without actually leaving the command, which is kind of a nice feature. So I can give myself more room, drag the rectangle as large as I want it, click to apply it, and now the command line is asking me for the height. And the same thing here. If I wanted to extend this box beyond my viewport boundaries, I can either hold down the right mouse click and pan around, or with my scroll wheel on my mouse, I can scroll and zoom out. So I kind of combine panning and scrolling to zoom and give myself a nice zoomed out view of the viewport so I can really drag this box up as high as I want it. So you can see I have 3 boxes drawn now. Only the front viewport is showing everything. So remember, I can go up to Zoom Extents All and right click on that, and all 4 views instantly update and show me everything that's visible in my scene. I'm going to go ahead and draw one more box. So let me click on box again over in the toolbar. This time I'll draw it from the front viewport. Draw it the same way. I'm going to draw the first lower left corner of my box. So I'll just click, drag a rectangle, and then this time I'll go into my perspective viewport and drag that out and click again to apply it. Now, if you're going to be applying the same command over and over again in Rhino, there are 3 ways that you can do that without having to go to the toolbar, the menu bar, or typing the command. So the 3 ways are, you can hit the space bar, you can hit the enter key, or you can just right-click the mouse button, and that'll reapply whatever the last command that you've executed is. So in this case, it's the box command. If I hit my space bar, you can see immediately the command line is asking me for the first corner of the base. So I'll click once again to apply the first corner, and then click and finish that box. If I hit the enter key, it also reapplies that same command. This time I'll come over to the right viewport, and I'll drag a box, and I'll go to my top viewport and zoom out a little bit and pan. And you can see I can finish the box in that top viewport. Or the third way to reapply a command is just to right click. And you can see right away the command line is asking me for the first corner of the base. And I can also apply that in my perspective viewport. And remember, I can zoom in or out. I can hit the Zoom Extents window, or right mouse click the Zoom Extents window to zoom all of my views. And that is how you enter commands and work in Rhino.